I'm going to show you how to create a thank you page and then connect that thank you page to your offer. But before we do that, we're actually going to be creating a template page. And what that template page is going to be about is it's going to have the header and footer that's to fit your brand. And then from there, any future pages that we make, we're just going to duplicate that so we can have a cohesive header and footer on every page. And it actually makes your life easier. So instead of starting every new landing page from scratch, you're going to have a template page to get started with. So the first thing we're going to do is click on New Landing Page. And I'm just going to choose Start from Scratch. Get started. And we're just going to call this Template Page. And then here we are with what they start us off with. And unfortunately, the header and footer are both hidden. So the first thing we need to do is come over to Header and roll to the bottom. You can see there's a desktop layout and a mobile layout. And when you click on each, just unclick the Hide Header and save that. We want to do that both on mobile and desktop layout. And go back. And then we're going to go to the footer next. And then roll down to desktop layout and unhide those footers. Okay, now we have a footer in place and a header in place. So we're going to go ahead and start branding it to fit your brand. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back, and I want to be on sections and settings because that tells me that I'm on the main area of a page. Once I click on any of these areas, it goes inside that area. And to go back to the main area, just go back until you see sections and settings. And the first thing we're going to do to start branding is clicking on settings. I'm going to go to favicon and then upload your favicon from here. And what a favicon is the little symbol here, how Kajabi has a symbol, Loom has a symbol here. So your symbol will be in here. And if you haven't created one already, it's easy to create one using Canva and just using your logo and a portion of it. It's a square size. I would say a good dimension is 720 by 720 pixels to use if you're going to create a favicon. Upload it here, and then it'll automatically appear whenever you go to preview. You'll see it up here like that. So we'll go ahead and close that and go back. And then we'll go to the style guide next. And this is where you can upload, click on the color here and type in your hex code or choose from the choices that you have down here. And you can make all the buttons on the page similar colors by clicking these two. Choose the way the button looks, fonts. And I like to actually change this. It defaults at bold. I like to move it to normal. That way I can choose if I want a header to be bolded or normal. So it gives me two options instead of all of them automatically being on bold. So you like to change that. But you want to change your body font, your heading font. And then here's where you can change the font colors. Just click on it, same way you did above on any of these four. A placeholder, by the way, is like in a form. When you have a form and it says, insert your name or email here, and it's really faint color, which is why it's a little bit lighter. And then you can optionally choose to change any of the sizes of your fonts. But as a beginner, I wouldn't mess with any of that for now. You can see mobile has separate sizing. And then we'll go back. And nothing else there. We're going to go to sections next and work on updating the header to fit your brand. So just click in the header just outside the logo here, and you can see all the parts of the header are currently logo, menu, user menu. So it's logo, menu, second menu, and a user menu. I don't really need that second menu, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that and keep logo, menu, user menu. And go ahead and click on the logo, insert your logo here by uploading a file or selecting a recent file. And let's say you upload it and it's too small or too big even. Usually it's too small. You can actually come to logo image width and change the number here to like 100. And that's a better size for the look that I'm going for here. And you can change the color back here by clicking outside the logo. And there's a header background color. And you can change the header text color as well. And then this is where you click on here and you can choose which menu you'd like to use. And we'll talk about menus another time. And the user menu is for if somebody is a customer already, they can click here and then go to their library where they can see all the purchases they've made from you. This is probably more in the future. You're not quite there yet to be using that, but we'll keep it there for now. And then after the header is all looking beautiful, you just roll down the footer and kind of do the same thing. I personally don't really like having the logo down here. I think it's a little distracting. I like to delete that and then have actually change this menu to footer and then click on the Kajabi here and then change this to the name of your company here. Save. And then we'll go back. And then I like to add another piece. Let's do social icons. And make sure you have them open up in a new window. So that way when they click on your social icons, they're not suddenly over on Facebook and they forgot all about you. So make sure you open up in a new window, save that. And now I don't know that I like the social icons way over there. So if I go back and I'm back in the footer area, you can see I can rearrange these by dragging this one with the parallel lines up. And now my social is over here and all that other stuff is over here. Save. And of course you can change the background and text and all that. But now you have a header and a footer that you like, and you can make it the same on all the pages by going back to landing pages. And then now we're going to create a thank you page using this very same template, and any future pages that you want to make are going to be a lot easier because you're not starting totally from scratch. So we'll just roll over to the three dots and duplicate it. And once it's back here again, we're going to roll over to the three dots and edit details. This is where we're going to change the name of it. And you might want to, call it thank you, but the problem is that as you create more offers and things for sale, you're probably going to want to have a special thank you page for each offer so you can have special wording on it as it applies. So if I just put thank you here, it's possible in the future I'm going to get confused with all the other offers I have. So I'm actually going to give it a better descriptor, like thank you, maybe one-on-one Zoom or whatever descriptor you want to use in here, and then make the URL somewhat accordingly. Thank you, Zoom, one-on-one, or whatever you want to put in here really. And then roll down here, and optionally you can fill in a little SEO information, but this is a thank you page. So don't really want any SEO on it because I don't want people stumbling upon this page. This page is going to have the link that people are going to be using to go to Calendly, and I don't want people just suddenly finding it in Google. So I'm actually going to roll down here and not show page in search results. Save that. And from here, I make sure it's on publish because I want to be using this page actively. Let's go back to landing. You can see it's published, and I want to edit it because I want to add a link for them to schedule their Zoom. So here, and you can see inside the middle area we have text and image, and I think that's probably what I want because I want a thanks for your purchase, here's a link to schedule, and maybe a picture of me saying, a welcoming face welcoming them into the Zoom. But this is kind of large, so I'm actually going to click this text box, make it 5 or 6, and then click the image and make that 6 across. Remember, 12 across is the max you can do. So here I'm just going to say something like, thank you. Your purchase is confirmed. You just received a receipt and a welcome email from me. If they don't arrive soon, be sure to check your spam folder. And then I want to have here the button so they can schedule. I'm going to come over to call to action and open that up. I'll click the box, include a call to action, and I can go ahead and say, schedule your Zoom. And then the URL will be the Calendly link there. And I want to be sure it opens up in a new tab because I don't want them to leave this page quite yet. So I'll click that and it'll open up a new little tab up here. Save. And then you want to click on this image here and of course add a picture of yourself. And if it's too big, because likely at 6 it's going to be massive, you can always come up here and make it a little smaller, make it a 4, and it'll probably be just right. So it's as simple as that as far as creating the page, but I don't really like that I could see the total footer down here. So I think I want to make a little more space above and below to make it fit. So when I click here, I'm going to roll over to desktop layout and then maybe make this, keep that 100, but I'm going to add more padding in the bottom, maybe like 300. And it makes it kind of, well, I want to see it maybe a little bit. How about something like that? Save that. And before we leave any page, we want to roll over to mobile up here and see how that looks. And actually, I think that looks okay. So I'm going to keep it. And next thing I'll do is connect this to my offer. So I actually have an offer thing open over here. So I'm under sales and offers and say it's this one right here. I just click on it, roll down to post purchase, choose where to send members after their offer purchase. Currently it defaults at members product library. I actually don't want them to go there. I want them to go to that thank you page, listing landing page, and they'll be like, well, which one? So I want to find that. Thank you one-on-one Zoom. And then go to the top here, save, and now it's connected. Now when someone visits this page, enters payment information, they're automatically going to be landing on this page. And if you want to preview it, you can click here to see what it looks like. You want to check, are you okay with what it says up here in the browser, as well as all this. So that's about it.